The name is Opposite name. Just that nigga smoking blunts, always spitting that game.
Hey, this is Chris Hopkins. I want to welcome y'all back for the second episode of Hot Topics. I am blessed with the presence of Bryant Smith and Charles Newby, also known as Charles at Large. Two comedy monsters here in Chattanooga joining me in studio. So we go about to act a fucking ass in here tonight. Got MMA referee Todd Augusta joining us by phone here shortly.
All right.
Yeah, he's a great UFC referee. He's done a lot of local MMA fights in Ohio. He's also Ohio State Highway Patrolman. Just a really cool all-around dude.
Another fun fact, his index finger has an additional knuckle, so he can really get up there.
Hey, man, the funniest shit you saying that I was in the MMA tournament.
Funny as shit, I was getting fingered by a UFC ref. And boy, howdy, my pants flew right off
That
of my
Affliction
head.
shirt just got ripped in half.
Shirt. Okay, so when we used to do the fighter meetings, and I think Todd was one of the ones who told me I learned what checking the oil was. Like in an MMA or a wrestling match, like college or amateur wrestling, if you stick your finger in somebody's butt, that's checking the oil, and it's illegal, but I've seen videos with people doing it. So we advise you to check the oil only if you're going to Valvoline or if you're at AutoZone.
Or if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, if the other person needs the oil check, if they consent to an oil check, you can go ahead and check the oil, transmission fluid. Anything y'all can consent to, Hot Topics agrees with, but don't be going around checking the oil just out the blue in the middle of the fight because you get disqualified.
What happens after the fight when they're just like, hey, I checked your oil and you're a little low.
Hey,
they get a room together?
Hey, I was checking your oil and
Your viscosity.
I think I found a lump.
Ooh, that's serious.
I want to see oh God, I'm sure there's got to be footage somewhere of someone checking Brock Lesnar's oil in collegiate level wrestling. Because have you seen the video of Brock Lesnar winning the NCAA championship? I think it was in 2000, 2001, something like that. Yeah. He's a big dude now, but this was when he was 22 years old. And he was fucking huge, the biggest dude. And I just want to see someone try and check his oil, and then he just pinches their finger off with his butt cheeks. Got him! I found him!
I'm about to throw it back to you because I got something for you. The funny thing is Brock won a title, but he wound up losing to a dude named Stephen Neal, who didn't even play football in college. He was such a badass that he was just a wrestler in college and then wound up going to play for the New England Patriots and then won a couple rings after that. But to get back on the wrestling tip, my old boo, Ronda Rousey, is now part of the WWE
Not
universe.
anymore.
She's not in the WWE?
She was. She was briefly the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah. Becky Lynch made her go home?
She broke her hand in the match with Becky Lynch. I think she was throwing a bomb wrong or something.
She can't punch.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, Ronda.
She has the... No, I'm not. I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not... No, get me motherfucking started on Ronda. Ronda Rousey is a goblin-faced fucking bridge troll who has no goddamn... No, she lost in UFC twice, and then her entire career was ruined, so the only thing this dumb bitch could do is go into my beloved professional wrestling and spend a year ruining it. And the dumb bitch can't wrestle, dumb bitch can't talk, every time she opens her mouth, fucking Holly Holmes' foot just flies out of the ether and gets caught in her teeth like fucking broccoli. I hate that bitch so much. I hate Ronda Rousey so if Ronda Rousey was on fire, I would not piss on her to put her the fuck out.
No, don't be shy, man. Tell me how you really feel about it.
I don't like her. I'm not a fan. No, Ronda did very poorly in WWE, and then she broke her hand, and now word on the street is her contract has lapsed, and she's trying to start a family with that can of Spam she's married to. Dude looks like a fucking brown can of Spam.
Brown.
Travis Brown looks like a goddamn can of Spam.
He might be packing a can
That's a lot of Spam.
That's all you need, man. Shit.
Oh, no, he's definitely down with the thickness.
Ooh. It's not about length, it's about girth.
No.
Ooh.
It's so funny because there's another guy who he's not fighting anymore. He's actually doing comedy now, Brendan Schaub. And I think he's he's benefiting from, the help of Joe Rogan, a couple of them. Brendan's cool. But Brendan had Rhonda first. He actually had a joke. I guess the thing is Eskimo brothers, if you both had sex with the same girl. And then he was having problems with Dana White. And he was like, well, Dana, we are Eskimo brothers because there's rumors that Dana messed with Rhonda too. So, man, it's like Rhonda went from the top of the world to really kind of stressed out. But I still got love for her. I think she just came in, made her money, and is going to go ahead and bow out gracefully.
What does that say about Ronda Rousey that she has fucked now 2 MMA fighters and potentially Dana White, and she can't suck a dick well enough to keep a career?
Well, she should holler at me, and I'll go ahead and teach her them skills.
Come, Rhonda.
We got the whole Chris Hopkins School of Technology for that. Teach you how to work your tongue and all that good things. Becky Lynch can come through too.
Man, like Becky Lynch on the real, I wouldn't fuck with her though. She looks like legit mean, and she's Irish, so she's shit-faced, drunk, and ready to fight all the time.
Don't get me started on Irish girls.
I'll take that ass whooping. Oh yeah.
Oh,
gingers are my weakness, so I don't give a fuck. Give me a drunk, crazy ginger, as opposed to some boring girl who colors within the lines and like doesn't fart in public and chews her food with her mouth closed. Fuck that.
I think a lot of guys, not only in their early 20s but in their 30s, they put women with a good credit score by the wayside, and that's not what you want to do. You get the girls with the good credit score and just get them in there with a nice rib and fried dinner, and then just tongue punch it. Just see what happens. Just see where it goes.
Man, I am too irresponsible for women with good credit score. I'm just responsible enough for like the kind of girl that like definitely has a knife. That's my type.
Just one knife, or see.
Man,
I'm trying so hard not to talk about this on the air, but I started comedy with a girl after I broke up with a girl that always has a knife. This girl is still driving me crazy. I wouldn't have no material if it wasn't for her. But man, yeah, girls with a knife are fun until they pull the knife on you.
That's the fun. That's where the fun starts.
I ended up getting in a fight with a girl I was on and off again for 4 years, and it was kind of 50-50 whether she was Jewish or not. And one day I'd had a little bit too much to drink, kind of like today, and I decided we got in a fight, and I told her, why don't you just stick your head in the oven since you just want to act a fucking fool? And she punched me in the nose, hard as fuck. And it was on that day I learned a very valuable lesson.
That she was the bear Jew?
No, it was learn to block.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep them hands up. But did you check her credit score before you made the oven comment?
Oh, hell no. I didn't know what the credit score was. God.
Not 134.
It was 877 cash now.
The 877 was good too. You had to throw the cash now in. That wasn't that kind of dropped it off.
I mean, honestly, having a JG Wentworth having a JG Wentworth girlfriend would be like, has that JG Wentworth money.
Well, some money somewhere. She might not have it yet, but it's coming. That's better than an EBT girl.
Well, she has a structured settlement and she needs cash now.
Hey, it's better than the girl that's on Section 8 that need cash now. my rent is $37. I'm trying to borrow $35.
Damn. Man.
Man, so it's really great to be back in studio. It's even more amazing to have both of you, Bryant and Charles, in.
Hey, we're glad to be here, man.
About to hop to the next segment. I got a question for y'all. Either one of you guys college football fans?
No, but I can play pretend.
Hey, not a problem.
I'm still in the closet. I'm still this many years later recovering from the Lane Kiffin scandal.
Ooh.
And it's I'm very much a Tennessee fan, but at the same time I'm just, every time I see a Florida fan, I'm just like, God damn, I can't wait to catch your bitch ass in the fucking park.
Well, see, that's perfect. That's a perfect segue. Last week I talked about the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. I've been down south almost 6 years now, and Ohio State's just starting to get annoying. I can't really be a Buckeye fan this far away, so I'm interviewing teams down south. And this week I'm looking at the Tennessee Volunteers. I'm hoping that the new coach can get stuff together. Full disclosure, my dad's best friend, Anthony Wilson, ran track for Tennessee in the 70s. He passed away from a brain aneurysm, and they still have the most outstanding Tennessee track athlete and an invitational track meet named for Tony Wilson. So that's one big plus. I like the orange uniforms. You can go hunting in them after you get done playing the game.
Honestly, that's why Tennesseans love their team so much. That's why they chose orange, is so these hillbillies can be like, all right, we're going to go out. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go out. We're going to murder a deer with a gun. And then tie it to the car, come back. We're going to put the game on and gut a deer while we say a bunch of fucking terrible things about 19-year-olds.
Tennessee fans are great because you can take them out on the hunt and they'll be listening to the game on a little AM FM radio, and then all of a sudden the deer will stick his head in the little hut and be like, "What's the score?"
And you be like, "Man, Bama's kicking our ass again." Deer be like, "Good, I got money on Bama," and that's how deer get shot.
Fucking,
I think between Alabama and Florida, it's kind of like, do you want it in the mouth or do you want it in the butt? You know, when it comes to dealing with the teams, it's just like Alabama is so close to the Gulf, and it's just like, you know, if they're not.
Well, last I heard, Alabama's entire team, like, they manufacture them, like, they're all, like, kids that are coming up out of the oil-soaked nightmare that is the Gulf of Mexico.
They're fucking orcs, man.
Up through, yeah, they're all fucking orcs. They're coming up through, like, they're the lame afterbirth of all these oil spills, and we have these fucking mutant coastal children, and they want to play football.
Well, Jimmy the Greek Snyder got fired for saying why Alabama is good. But that's the remnants of slavery. I don't give a fuck. Where the fuck else you gonna find 10 big-ass black dudes that's 6'7", 350 pounds that can run? That shit, I don't know where. There's like 5 people in the whole state of Alabama, and that's where all the football players come from. The state of New York has like 50 million people and like has produced one football player. But, man, they go back in them backwoods and find them damn Alabama just ridiculous-ass athletes. I just know from when I was playing football up north in Ohio, we would look at a team from down south to see how big and dark they were, and if they was too big and too dark, I might have to pull my hamstring in the pregame or something. It's like, I got to be at work on Monday. Obamacare does not cover getting fucked up by these big-ass. Hey, I got to keep it real, man.
Man, and I graduated from a high school that had that particular breed of fucking mutant. Because, well, I'm from here in Chattanooga, and I graduated from Tyner High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which Tyner High
How
School.
the hell?
Right?
Well, you went to Tyner?
What?
Yeah, I graduated from Tyner. I did.
No wonder you're fucking funny as shit.
Yeah.
I did
God
4
damn.
years. I did 4 years on the inside.
That's like Tyner High School or Tyner State Penitentiary.
It's both. It's both.
But the band is good. The band. That's the first
we
high school
have the
band
best
I've
band.
ever seen
We have
do
the
do
best.
Mr. P.
I will say, motherfucking Tyner High School's band has the best goddamn high school level band in the world, hands down. And we used to have a really good football team. And 1 year, I got to see the racial thing happen 1 year firsthand, because Tyner always had like a huge rivalry with Central, which I can understand why, because we were the Tyner Rams and they're the Central Purple Pounders.
Well, hold on,
we were
wait, I
both
got
trying.
a question for the Chattanooga natives. Why did Central name their mascot after a sex toy? That like a purple pounder. You can get that at the sex shop. I've seen one.
I am pretty sure that was the second draft of the name. The first one was the Central Purple-Headed Yogurt Slingers. But like, we had a rivalry with Central, and when I was in high school, Central was like, that was the suburban school. That's where all the white kids with money went. And then we had Tyner, which is where, you know, all of the black kids that were in that particular neighborhood went. We happened to have the best football coach in the region, Coach T, and we would have our crosstown rivalry game because we were both in the same division. and before the game, it was our homecoming game that year, and we, were up against Central, and right before the game, like the day before, a couple days before, a bunch of the kids from Central snuck into the campus and just spray painted racial slurs all over everything, and like set parts of the field on fire and stuff. It was gnarly, but we had.
You still set that fire for that game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's like, it's essentially racial fuel, but at the same time, by goddamn, if you're not lit, at that game, like,
yeah.
Oh no, I was actually a good kid. I was never drunk at any games, but I went to this game and I got to watch a bunch of dudes like. Oh, man, I was 15, 16 years old, and I'm in class with dudes that are fucking 6'4", 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 260, 270, fucking huge dudes. And I'm pretty sure I saw a kid from Central get hit so hard he can't do math anymore.
Could he do math before?
Probably because he was from Central.
This is true. Tyner's actually, it's like Tyner Academy. They've got a little bit of a math and sciences program.
Yeah, it became a STEM school. And then
he hit him that hard it became a STEM school?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, that's some good shit. But just driving through the city and just kind of what I know about the history, like driving by Howard High School, that shit looks like Lean on Me. It looks like they got like like they got metal detectors in the lunchroom, metal detectors in the bathroom, and Howard looks rough as hell.
Yeah.
No shit though.
Howard is Chattanooga's forgotten child, and it's actually really depressing.
Well, one of my roommate currently, his name is John Demergen. He's a fantastic music teacher. He has taught at Howard extensively over the past year, and will probably be teaching at Orchard Knob very, very soon.
Oh wow!
You know Big John.
Yeah.
Mr. Golden Pipes himself, just that wicked tongue.
Yeah.
That guy. Oh man, he's the best. And then you've got Mr. Armenian Southern dialect himself in the middle of Howard or Orchard Knob.
Wait. You said Armenian with the Southern dialect? So you got a country fried Kardashian?
You damn skip. I didn't know. When we started hanging out, I knew nothing about the Kardashians. And then one day he was like, they're Armenian. I'm like, aren't you Armenian? Like your brother? He's like, yeah. And then next thing I know, it's just like we're playing like not necessarily D&D, but it's like fantasy football, but with Armenians versus the Middle East, and being like, all right, from the OJ scandal up until this, where are we at? And it's just like, oh man, I've got enough here to like probably win a scratch off, so we'll just go from there.
Well, I tell you what, this has been Chris Hopkins. We're going to come up on our first break and get set up. We're going to come back with Todd Augusta. Then we got more from Charles and Bryant. I'm going to see if Charles get that guitar fired up for us.
Oh, be careful what you wish.
Oh, I'm wishing. And we'll be right back here at Hop Topics, and see y'all in about a few seconds.
Opposite name, just that nigga smoking blunts, always spitting that game. Used to call me 420, but that shit all the same. I'm all in, man, like Texas Hold'em. I see 5-0 patrolling, but they ain't fucking with me, cause I done finished my weed and hit my drink in my seat. I breeze easily.
All right, I want to welcome y'all back to segment 2 of Hop Topics for this week, episode 2. I apologize, we had some technical difficulties. We couldn't get Todd Augusta on this week, but he will be joining us next week for the next week's podcast. Also, while I got this time, I want to say thank you to our people at Scratch House and Freedom Automotives. Go see Nate down there in Centerpoint Drive. Get your car taken care of, and if you're walking around, get you a new one. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into the fun. We've got Charles Newby. He's all set up with his guitar, about to bless us with some good music here. So, Charles, let us know what you're about to hit us with.
This is some bullshit.
I always fucking forget.
That wasn't no bullshit.
I always forget you're talented.
Baby.
So you accidentally play guitar better than most people who claim to be great guitarists.
Well, I'm pretty sure I had a stroke a couple of years ago, and then everything's just kind of the same after a while. I'll be honest. I I've been playing guitar. First time I got a guitar, I was probably 8 years old. I got it wasn't really a silver tone, but it was one of those little. What I now refer. I over the years. Let's see. I'm 34 now, so let's say if I got it when I was 8, so 18 is 10 years, 20 is 20 years, so like, I don't know, 25 years or so.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Been playing a minute, and it was sad as I should be better than I am. I should be doing all kind of stuff like that. But, man, same thing I tell, I've had probably over 100 students over the years, and it's just, all I want to do is just destroy the system. That's what it comes down to. Like, at the end of the day, like, this little single coil pickup right here, that's just a magnet. I'm on a piece of wood. This little guitar is only $120, but I've owned Gibsons. I've owned not chords. I've owned PRS. You know, just all the top dollar stuff, and all that shit's just gonna get stolen. So that when I take my Mesa Rectiverb 50 and my Orange Cab, both of which are like damn near $2,000 now on resale because they're in real good condition. I'm not leaving the house with that for at least $500. So they're just like, well, why should you bring your guitar? Like, I'm gonna bring the $120 guitar. I'm gonna bring the PV.
Till y'all get some good, y'all pay some good guitar money, then you get the good guitars.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I've tracked everywhere from. I've got some buddies who tracked all over the world. Before I even did comedy, I fucked with a lot of guys who've a good buddy of mine, David Long, fantastic musician, has no idea what chords he's playing, and he writes some of the best songs I've ever heard. Hopefully, real soon he's gonna be moving to Austin with his band, and gonna be doing the Don Royale project. But locally, I did Romanticide. I've done Unprotected Rex, which was in this very studio.
Breaker 17.
Yeah, Breaker 17. Doing all kind of stuff.
Beautiful Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Man, ain't nothing like North Georgia. You wouldn't believe the glimmer on them shards. Let me tell you. But man, I've been playing a while, and I got to tell you, man, at the end of the day, it's just it's a magnet on the piece of wood. I got a Jesus, what am I playing today? I got this is a Sundown Telecaster with a maple neck. I call it Ruby Red, but it's just a little $100. I don't give a shit if this thing gets stolen. I hope it doesn't happen, but yeah, we're running straight into the board and some of the best software that I've never heard of, and so yeah, we'll just take it from there.
Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and pick your brain a little bit before you get started. What were some of your influences or inspiration to dedicate yourself to music for 25 years and put the time in?
I know this one.
Let's hear what Brian has to say.
Drugs.
I didn't really mess with drugs until after high school. Believe it or not, it was after I lost my virginity, everything went downhill. And this, you've heard this bit before. We're gonna do it anyway. You ever just look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, God damn, I'm overweight. I'm a borderline alcoholic. I'm making pizzas for a living. I don't know where my life's going, and I lost my virginity to Savage Garden. Look what it did to me!
The birth of a comedian.
Look what it did to me.
If it makes you feel any better, I never told this story out loud. When I lost mine, I had put on like my study playlist because I was like, I had some like fun stuff on it, so I put that on and forgot everything that was in it. And as we are getting down to business, a techno remix of the fucking Tetris theme starts. So, I am about to be inside of another human being for the first time, and this fucking Stephen Hawking voice comes up and goes, "Let's play some Tetris, motherfucker." Boom, da-da, boom, da-da, boom.
Well, see, that got you in the mindset of fitting stuff in the small little crevices. You see, that's what you needed there. Get your mind right.
So yeah, the problem is mine's one of those Z pieces.
So when you completed the level, which rocket did you get? Fuck
the
it.
Soyuz.
Right, we'll do a little guitar. We're on a Telecaster today for anybody asking questions.
For the dorks.
We're going to just do a little swell. We're gonna go into E. We're gonna go A major pentatonic. And there's a little blues in there.
That was nice, man. It makes me miss when I was actually in a band.
I love being in a band. It's just there's nothing like having like 3 to 6 motherfuckers being like, all right, when can our girlfriends let us be here? It sucks, man, because it's just like there's the kind of connection you have with music that you can't have having sex, but then like you gotta have sex. So like, where do you find yourself? And then, you know, I do comedy stuff with music and things like that. You know, I'm a borderline sound engineer myself, not like the guy who's working it right now, who's actually a
witch.
What do you call it? A professional. He's
a witch.
He's an actual musician, but man, it's just something about it. It's just like I'm a big fan. Like I started off I grew up on the Beatles and the Doors. Like when I go around the house, like, you know, everyone's just always on my ass, be like, oh wow, you can draw, you can paint, you can cook, you can do music, you're a poet, and all this other bullshit. And I'm just like, man, I anything I can pay my mortgage with, fuck, I can donate that shit. Fuck it, I got a Venmo.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for creative people is how to monetize that shit.
And it sucks because like there's computers doing stuff.
Speak for
I'll
yourself.
never be able
I'm
to do.
fucking loaded now.
See, we need the Bobby Anderson how-to book. That's we need that book to come out.
Man, the Bobby Anderson how-to book. It's just one page, and it's someone has written in crayon. Get the money, bitch. Get paid, bitch.
There you have it. That's all the advice you need right there. Get the money. Now, okay. Now, while we over here, Bryant, I want to talk to you.
Right.
Bobby Anderson, for those who may not know, is your pro wrestling character, and I want to talk to you about how you got involved in pro wrestling and developing of Bobby Anderson and what you got coming up.
Man, that's actually a very interesting story. So, I worked in the pro wrestling business as a manager for a couple of years, and how it came to be was my very good friend Lazarus Hellgate runs a circus sideshow out of Chattanooga, Subterranean Circus. They have a show coming up June 22nd, Summerween, at JJ's Bohemia. It'll be a real rad time. But he approached me one night because he knew I was a fan of wrestling, and they were putting on a show at JJ's called WrestleHemia. It's something they used to do when they had enough room in the back. They would pull out a wrestling ring, and Lazarus and a few other people would book a wrestling show, and they said, hey, we need someone to do play-by-play commentary. We need someone to do commentary against it, and we wanted a comedian. We know you're a fan. Last time we got some other comics who I will not name that were very, very bad at it. They were very bad at it, and one of them almost got his ass kicked by a wrestler. And so he brought me on, and I developed the character. And for those of you who don't know, Bobby Anderson, he talks like this. He's quick talking. He's a producer. He's greatest mind in sports history, and entertainment history, and sports entertainment history. I mean, even better than that one guy. What's his name? The Stone. No, The Rock. That's him. Good kid. A lot of potential there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Anderson. I love that fucking character, man.
But yeah, so I developed that voice for that, and I developed the name because it's I named him after Bobby Heenan, who is the greatest mouthpiece in wrestling history, and Arn Anderson, who's the greatest ring general technical wrestler of all time, one half of the greatest tag team of all time. And then the show went really well, and Lazarus approached me and wanted me to MC the sideshow, and I did that for like 3 years. I had been doing the sideshow for about a year, and the strongman for the sideshow is a professional wrestler, Leroy Lewis. Leroy the Drunken Irishman Lewis. Book him. He's very good. And he was like, hey, why don't you come up to this trash bag show and manage me?
When you say trash bag,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Trash bag show is it's a show that should be in a trash bag. It's like it's just like I watch a lot of independent wrestling. I watch a lot of I've been really on Beyond Wrestling lately. Wrestle Circus, Wrestling Pro Wrestling. What else have I been watching a lot of? PWG, obviously, stuff like that are like independent programs that like they don't have pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So like that is, I would call it like a step below like the promotions that have television now, like Ring of Honor, Impact, WWE, which is its own monster, AEW, which is starting up in October.
So like the feeder leagues, basically, where the talent's developed.
Yeah. So the ones I would call a trash bag show, and the ones I was kind of working are more like middle-aged softball leagues. It's and all the respect in the world to all the guys I work with. A couple of them are going to be famous. There's this one promotion, indie promotion out west called Chikara, that's like very cartoonish and very fun. And they were scouting a guy I know at the show. I worked for a little while. They didn't like him and did not even pay attention when I was out on stage. And I was at the time the only person people were buying tickets for, because people would buy tickets to come and be like, "Hey, you suck! Your town sucks!"
I've actually been a witness to seeing Bobby Anderson sell tickets.
You were my esteemed attorney.
Yeah, I was got to get in the ring and be a bad guy for a minute and get booed. Man, getting booed as a pro wrestler is one of the highlights of my life.
Man.
That shit was so damn fun. I wanted to thank you for that again.
Man, there is no feeling in the world like it. Like I have set Bobby Anderson aside for at least a while. I'm setting wrestling aside and sideshow aside to focus on stand-up and other projects I've been working on. But I absolutely still love it, and I'm probably going to come back to it again at some point.
Just out of curiosity, as a pro wrestling fan, and you've been in it from everything from a flea market to a ticket holder, how do you think streaming stands when it comes to pay-per-view?
Streaming's the future.
You think streaming's the future? Can you elaborate?
Okay, so the best example, obviously, is the WWE Network. They have their own streaming service. It's $10 a month, and you get every pay-per-view.
For $10 a month?
$10 a month.
So I thought it was $10 a month, and then you pay for the pay-per-view in addition to. That's how the UFC Fight Pass worked, and then what ES. But the UFC is just greedy. They're trying to make you pay $65 for people you could see fight in the Sky Zoo parking lot.
Yeah, and
I've seen better fights with bum fights. I mean, I'm sorry. You fight if you're fighting for $1 million, that's one thing. But if you're fighting for a sandwich you haven't had in a week, by goddamn, that's different money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat that ass for that warm 40 Steel Reserve 211. Somebody can get their head wrecked.
Give me that gas station egg salad. I'll fuck a motherfucker up.
Fuck the Steel Reserve. But yeah, streaming's the future. So obviously we have the WWE Network, which is the biggest thing. NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, has their own streaming service. And then one of the better examples of modern stuff is through, I think it's the Fight app or whatever.
Okay.
All Elite Wrestling, which is the Johnny Come Lately that's actually trying to stand up to WWE. They ran through that, and I paid the $60 for that pay-per-view, and it was very well spent. But streaming is going to be the future, because think of all the people in my age group, or in our age group really, that have cable. None of them.
Nobody. I've got a joke about that. Nobody watches cable anymore.
Yeah, which is a real bummer, because if I end up on Jeopardy, no one's going to see it.
Oh, no, we're going to see that. We're going to see that. Well, I tell you what, Bryant, you got any upcoming performances or anything?
Of course, open mics Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays
Where at?
around town. Mondays at the Honest Pint, Wednesdays at JJ's Bohemia, Thursdays at Barley. My next big show is going to be... Oh, shit, when is my next big show? I don't think until Oh, that's what it is. It's June 21st.
Okay.
I run a show called Chuckle Buds, It's a
on the bus. Can you smoke on the bus or no? Can you actually smoke weed on the bus?
I mean, if you're low
they
key,
sell it to you. You can't bring your own.
I can't.
Okay, I'm super confused because I know CBD is now legal in Tennessee, but cannabis isn't. But they can sell you cannabis on. Well, no, we're not gonna say nothing about that. If I get high on the bus, I'm not finna tell on them.
Yeah.
So we will handle that.
It is definitely low concentrations.
Yeah.
Wink.
No, I need the heaviest bud we can find. But I definitely, you said June 21st, Chuckle Buds?
June 21st, Chuckle Buds. It's going to be on the Midnight Puff. It's a converted school bus. Mm-hmm. We post up in the parking lot behind the terminals, so there's somewhere you can go get a drink.
Yep.
And, bring your booze onto the bus. We're going to have... oh, goodness, I forgot his name. Corey.
Yeah, Corey and them. You know Corey.
Corey
and them used to be with Boo Boo Shay Shay and them. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
about.
Corey Perry. We're going to have Corey Perry down from Nashville. We're going to have some local talent on it, and it's going to be fucking wild. I've never had a normal show on this bus. Something weird always happens. A comic almost gets in a fight with a redneck. I get called a slur. It's always something.
Sounds like a good wholesome time. So June 21st, Chuckle Buds.
Chuckle Buds.
On the Midnight Puff bus. Gonna be parking right at the terminal downtown by the Choo Choo. If you miss it, you're gonna be disappointed. Now, Charles, I'm actually gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna wrap up, but I'm gonna have you play something as we go ahead and take on off and close the show. But I also need to know, where can people catch Charles at Large coming up here soon?
This is the first time in history people can find Charles at Large a lot lately.
Deservedly so.
Well, I mean, you say that, but then there's only so many pyres you can go to at Catholic churches where you can confess your sins. So tonight starts the first one. So Saturday. Me and Donnie Marsh get to do Chat Talk tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Donnie Marsh and Chat Talk. Chat Talk's been doing real well. He's got a nice talk show that he does monthly at the Palace Theater in Chattanooga. Oh,
it was fantastic. Me and Bryant got to do Adventure Fight there, and what I remember of it was fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Alfred Hitchcock there, and I'm going to be shitting on some of your favorite directors. I'm a bit of a film fan, but we've got a bit coming up here on the 24th of June at the Honest Pint on a Monday. We're going to be raising some money for single women and single mothers in the local Chattanooga area through Chattanooga Room at the Inn. And next week, me and Bryant are going to be on live TV promoting television. That. We got that going on. We got a few more shows coming up. I'm going to be posting, and the first rendition of Charles at Large Live will be happening on July 17th at immediately following Free Kittens at JJ's Bohemia. It's a free show. And we're just gonna get a little bit wild on that. But we got a bunch of stuff coming up, a bunch of different shows, and I'm very fortunate. The Chattanooga comedy is one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever seen in my life, other than all the times I've taken drugs. And I find myself with a very strange motley crew of individuals, and I couldn't be any happier, man. I wish I'd done this sooner. Music was kind of a waste of time. I love Chattanooga comedy. I actually got my start at Honest Pint doing Pint Mike back when Ian was running it. Shout out to Ian Sharp, Big Papa, and yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff going on. Check out Charles at Large. Check out Bryant Smith. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on. And
follow me on Instagram at Mickey Louse Club.
Yep.
Mickey Louse Club. There's a bunch of different stuff. But other than that, do you want to hear? You guys want some hot? What do you want from? I
tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and close the show, and then you can play whatever. You can do. I'm coming back with a gun.
I mean, we've done that a few times. I had to get the other guitar out for that.
Oh, we're cool. You can just. I like the sound of the electric anyway.
I say let's keep it a little low. Are you guys fans of Delta blues?
Yeah.
The original form of blues. We'll just crank it up a little.
Well, hold on for 1 second before we exit on out with the blues. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 2 of Hop Topics. Definitely want to thank Bryant Smith, aka Bobby Anderson, and Charles Newby, also known as Charles at Large, to come in. Okay, Write this down. June 21st, Chuckle Buds on the Midnight Puff bus. Then we've got this weekend coming up on the 15th. We've got Chat Talk. Then we've got the Charles at Large show coming up at the Free Kitten. Shout
On
out
the
to Free Kittens.
20th, me and Brian will be on live TV promoting.
What channel is that?
It'll be Fox, local Fox affiliate, Fox 11.
Good morning, Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chattanooga. My name is Chris Hopkins. I want to thank y'all for tuning in and fucking with us one more week. Charles, kick it.